Hello guys, my name is Kiminekyt, welcome to this new video, and today we'll be watching kiminekyt. By the way, there's a nice choice you got there, buddy, playing in his own knee. Now this heavily armored behemoth of a tank at a tier 7 is incredibly broken. I wouldn't even call it ONI, I would call it just straight away OP. Just don't get me wrong, a lot of people think this tank is weak and I don't understand them. This tank is heavily armored head to a freaking toe. Every single part of this tank is so heavily armored that the most heavily armored tier 7 tanks are not even getting close to it. Even the rear armor has like 150 millimeters of armor. Like, I know it is, flat. So, yeah, it's pretty easy to penetrate if we are directly behind it, but tier 5s will quite commonly struggle to penetrate it. Tier 6s will be quite commonly capable of penetrating it, but mostly not. But the front of this tank is absolutely impenetrable wall. Like this thing is like a wall of Japan. It's like 250 armor all over the front of it. Like 250. This is goddamn broken no matter what you say. And the only weak spots that this tank has frontally are these tiny little I want to say cupolas, but these things, this thing is so freaking big that it doesn't have just one turret. It has two other turrets that are probably as big as like medium tank turrets, so still pretty damn fucking big. Sadly, you cannot use them. But these two things and the cupola are considered weak spots of this thing. Guess how much armor this thing does have frontally? These things have frontally 175. 175 armor. Most of tier 7 tanks won't even have that much penetration. Like, honestly said, even a tier 8 premium tank, the IS-6, which is known for its low penetration, doesn't have enough penetration to actually penetrate those things reliably. Old Super Pershing's penetration wouldn't be capable of... Oh, that was the shot I missed. Wouldn't be capable of actually penetrating it. And the second weak spot, the cupola, is still rather thick. It is 150 armor, which isn't somehow incredibly thick, but most of the tanks still won't be capable of penetrating it, like lower tier tanks, obviously. Still though, this tank needs to somehow pay for it, and that is with the incredibly low speed. As you might see, 10 kilometers per hour top speed in reverse, and only 25 kilometers, if I'm correct. Yep, 25 kilometers per hour top speed if we are going forwards. Anyways, right now, as we have seen, this tank's frontal armor is thick enough to actually block howitzers, because that Panzerkampfwagen 4000H, I'm just going to call it derp tank. This derp tank wasn't actually capable of penetrating, even like scratching this tank frontally. It probably just removed some paint from the front of it. Anyways, right now, look at this. This would scare the shit out of me, like an enormous giant slowly crawling over the hill, coming at you, and you're just looking at its gun going all like, no, please, no, and then randomly you get shot down by a KV-1 from the side. Kissing little bitch. Anyways, I don't know what, it isn't lagging to me. Like, personally, I don't know why is there a problem. I'm probably gonna have this kind of like, I'm gonna be like, collect N, so we won't directly see the way our hero is aiming, because of a simple reason. If we have seen that kind of like a laggy sort of a problem, I don't know what is wrong with the replays today, but every single replay that I watched today, that I watched yesterday, that I watched like 2-3 days ago, is this laggy. Like, as you might see, my FPSs are going completely alright. My ping is still rather alright. Like, yeah, in, for example, League of Legends, I still got like 20 ping, and if it goes to Counter-Strike Global Offensive, I got like 5 ping. I don't know how the fuck is that possible, but I got 5 ping. But here, I got 50. But still, 50 ping is rather, it's still kind of alright. That was a blind shot. By the way, I can kind of spoil you a thing, and that is that the blind shot did not hit anything at all. I do feel like if it would have hit anything at all, it would most likely have killed the Type 64. But right now, look at this. The entire south flank, not exactly south flank, the entire east flank of our heroes teams. I'm seriously not gonna say this name every single time I wanna call our hero by a name. Or I'll just call you Kiminekyt. Why the fuck not? But if our Tongue twister once again. There's an annoying ass little bugger over there, the E25. But right now you might see how tough actually this tank's armor is. And there is another lag. I don't know why it's that. But the T-3485M, which doesn't have somehow low penetration. I do feel like that tank has like 175 penetration. Wasn't capable of penetrating this tank frontally. That is already something to say. But honestly said, this thing is like 250 armor all over the front, apart from those couple of weak spots that I've been talking about. But right now, there are only 4 allies left alive, whereas there are 8 enemies actually, 8 enemies alive. This will be a really tough match to win, unless you'll be capable of carrying it solo, which is very unlikely, but at the same time there's only one single opponent, tier 7 opponent left, and if there's gonna be none left, it's pretty much a free win. They aren't gonna be capable of penetrating this tank, even with premium rounds. Like, probably just the Nashorn, probably just the SE1 100Y will be capable of penetrating this tank with regular rounds, maybe some gold rounds here and there, but the rest of them, apart from probably the T-3485M, won't be capable of penetrating this tank even with premium rounds. And here is a shot into the T-67, shutting it down with a single shot. By the way, I should point out that you are capable of one-shotting that tank with only a single shell. Come on, nice shot into that E-25 for a nice amount of damage of 333. That is a nice little number. Come on, shoot at him. You're gonna be capable of overmatching the upper part of him. Oh, he actually waited to get like a shot at his frontal plate. And don't get me wrong, but this gun, I do feel like it would be capable of penetrating it pretty much no matter where, like 105mm. You would be capable of penetrating the E25 everywhere apart from the frontal plate, if the frontal plate would be angled at over 70 degrees. So yeah, pretty much anywhere. That thing is like 25 armor all around. But here's an enemy that decided to drive in front of you, the T-3485M, which got 356 HP shaved off of him. Anyways, one thing that a lot of people curse at around this, one thing that I should point out is that right now our hero is standing 1 versus 5. The last ally fell down. It was, if I'm correct, the MX-12T. Yep, the MX-12T. Once the tank died, our hero stood 1 versus 6, but once he killed that E25, this game was no longer 1 versus 6 game, this game was already 1 versus 5. But one thing that a lot of people curse about this tank is like this gun. If you look at this gun, it's freaking broken. 330 alpha damage, that is pretty damn fine. And oh, here's the SU-100Y. Remember, as I said, that tank is gonna be one of the very few tanks that are gonna be capable of penetrating this tank frontally. Well, he fired gold at you, reducing you to only half of your health, and you weren't capable of penetrating it frontally. I feel like you hit its gun or something like that, but that doesn't matter now. What matters is this tank's gun, which has 330 alpha damage and 190 penetration. This is higher than some of the tier 8 tanks. Oh, and how did you even hit that shell? You probably hit it, like, give me a second, I'm gonna stop it for a moment. You had to hit it somehow, like, you had to hit it over here, like, underneath the Excelsior. Is it Excelsior? No, it's a Black Prince. You had to hit it underneath that thing. Like, how? That had to be a pretty damn lucky shot. But you're going ham at that SU-100Y, because you know that is one of the very few remaining tanks at the enemy team that are gonna be actually capable of killing you. You wiggle your frontal plate, and no, he still was capable of shooting at you. However, he seems to have low rolled for only 400 damage. Well, 400 damage is still a lot, but by the way, look at this. The enemy Sturzwang is still trying to shoot at your rear plate, but he isn't capable of penetrating it. Rear armor of this thing. Right now, he had a free shot into your side plate. Why didn't he take it? He instead of that decided to run away. But right now, the enemies decided to cap, but remember, this is an encounter mode. This means that the cap will take like well, if I'm correct, it takes double the time it takes regularly, so it's gonna take a really long amount of time for the enemies to be actually capable of winning this game by capping. But honestly said, that is like the only possible way they are going to win at this point, because there are no enemy tier 7 tanks left. With the E25 dying like, I don't know, 2 or 3 minutes ago, there are seriously no tier 7 tanks, which means that there are no tanks capable of penetrating this tank, like even with premium rounds, apart from the Nashorn. That tank is a tier 6 tank that has more penetration, not only more penetration than this tank, but more penetration than majority of the tier 8 tanks. Average, actually not more, the average penetration at a tier 8 is 203, which means that that tank, the Nashorn with like 201 penetration if I'm correct, is slightly bit under the average of tier 8. But still, it's remarkably high for a tier 6 tank. If that tank is gonna load in some premium rounds, he will penetrate you for 100%. There's no chance that he will be capable of bouncing a single shell over your frontal plate. But here is the Nashorn, and good. HE. Oh, you want our hero to load in high explosive. I do not feel like it's somehow good, because you won't be capable of shutting him down with a single shell. 430 alpha damage, you won't be capable of dealing all 600 points of damage to the Nashorn, take him down in a single shot. So loading in high explosive is pretty useless. I'm not saying that it's completely useless, you are going to be capable of dealing a bit more damage to him, but still, you would be far better off if you loaded in those AP rounds twice, instead of just HE rounds. So, you're a one-shot for a Nashorn. If he's going to be capable of penetrating you, which he most likely will be capable of doing, nope, he won't be capable of penetrating you. He just shot, where did he shoot you? He shot you. This thing doesn't even have a lower plate. This thing has like 2 upper plates. The upper and lower plate that this thing has are pretty much equal in terms of armor. So shooting the upper plate is probably the same as shooting the lower plate. Both of them have like 220 armor. So if the Nashorn hits either one of them, he isn't gonna be capable of penetrating them. Not even if he's under it. Like this thing has like, I don't know, 190 armor overall. So yeah, it's pretty damn thick, even if you are underneath it. So if the Nashorn was underneath it, it still had to face about 200 of effective armor, which means that he wouldn't be capable of penetrating it unless he loaded in the premium rounds. The only way how he would be capable of killing our hero would be by shooting either cupola or these tiny little turrets at the front. But since the Nashorn doesn't seem like somehow, I would say advanced player, but that is kind of a bad term in this kind of situation. He simply doesn't seem like some kind of like pro player or someone like amazing player. He seems to be about like 50 to 53% win rate player, which means that he isn't somehow amazing. He probably didn't even know that this thing is some kind of a frontal weak spot, and he decided to shoot at the lower plate as on every single other tank. But right now, here is a chase of a KV1, which decided to run away, so I'm gonna speed it up a bit. No, you won't be capable of camping. That's a common mistake I see a lot of people doing at this kind of a spot. And there is the KV1, which decided to fire a high explosive into you. He wasn't capable of penetrating you, thankfully, but he still dealt 121 damage, meaning that you are one shot for him if he's gonna be capable of hitting you at all. He doesn't have to penetrate. Remember, he's using high explosives, which means that a single shot will be guaranteed to kill you. He missed one shot, and come on, shoot at him, come on. Oh no, low roll for only 300. He's left at 5 HPs. However, he somehow managed to completely get his shell absorbed by our frontal plate. I don't know what the hell he was doing, how he managed it. Another shell, and it bounced. Another shell, and it actually missed. Jesus, this is an absolute clown fiesta over here. I don't know what the hell is the KB1 doing over here, but he is dead. Anyways, in a post-game stat, we may see what a truly amazing game this was. By the way, at the end of the regular replay commentary, I had a bit of a problem with my voice, so there is like 1 day long cut in between this part and previously, the replay commentary. Anyways, in a post-game set, we may see what the game truly was, how amazing it was, because our hero was capable of getting 11 different medals for this game, and plus that an ace tanker badge on his tank. Anyways, he was capable of getting Hand of a God, Bruiser, Duelist, Fire Effect, Shellproof, and then to those more rare medals, such as Radley Walters medal, Colobano's medal. This medal is something that everybody wants. Then Spartan, Steel Wall, High Caliber, and a Top Gun. Holy freaking shit, that was an amazing game, despite the fact that at the start it was looking kind of bland, you know, kind of boring and stuff like this, it turned out quite nice because you were capable of dealing 5,000 damage, nearly as much as the rest of your team combined, and we're capable of getting nearly 2,000 experience and 8 kills. That is absolutely freaking amazing. But one thing that I should point out, oh Jesus, 91,000. Oh gosh, I want those credits right now. 91,000 credits earned in this battle. I understand that he has a premium, but he wasn't spending any premium ammunition at all, because this thing just doesn't need it. This thing can load in heat rounds, not heat rounds. It would be pretty broken if this thing actually had heat rounds, but this thing can load in high explosive rounds and AP rounds, both of which are incredibly broken. The high explosive rounds got like 450 and not even more than that, like 530 alpha damage, which is pretty damn broken. You can just derp shot everybody around you the same way tier 9s and tier 10s can, and then you got the AP rounds, which still got pretty high penetration. As well, I want a medal for the fact that you were actually capable of driving nearly 3.5 of a kilometer in this slug of a thing. Anyways, that's gonna be the end of this video. Hope you enjoyed, and I hope that I'll see you next time. Bye.